Now, I noticed here that the ZIM shipping stock had a very big uptick as of just a few days ago. To look at it more exact, it's up 23.5% in the last 5 days. Now, I wonder if this is from people buying into it, expecting that huge dividend, the end of the year, whatever, catch-up dividend, whatever it's called, where I've heard it can be as much as 30 to 50% of the profits are paid back in dividends, and then they just kind of vote on the severity of it. And I believe that was on the low end, that would be something like 30 cents, I think I read on Reddit, up to like $8. I think it might not be of the profits, it might be of the gross revenue or whatever. I'm not exactly sure. It's been a while since I read it because I was just kind of like, I'll believe it when I see it. But now I'm wondering if it could be in part due to that. They think now's a good time and they're gonna pay out a huge dividend. And then a lot of people like to think that a dividend's paid out of the stock price, but that's not how it works. That's not how it works at all. That might seem to be the effect because of factors such as, like, if you know you're going to get like a 44-cent dividend, buying it, like Coke, the day before the ex-dividend date, that then people will, or algorithms will try and trade and try and essentially value that stock and say they buy it for 61, and then they will try and sell it for like 60 and try and capture that like 4-cent differential in milliseconds or whatever, because they own the stock, and then the next day they try and trade it for the like less than the difference in the dividend. I'm sure that makes very little sense because I'm explaining it very poorly, but that is what causes the stock to drop, not that it's paying the dividend out of the share price, because that's not what's happening. That might be the effect, it might be correlated, but it is not causation. It gets me so mad sometimes when I see that on Reddit, that people just think that it is because of the dividend that it's getting paid directly out of the share price, which makes no sense whatsoever once you think about it. The share price is just what people think it's worth. The counter argument, the easy counter argument would be then, why do shares that don't pay dividends ever go down? If they're not paying a dividend, wouldn't they never go down? Wouldn't they? Or why would they be worth anything if they're not paying a dividend? Then why does a stock go up at all? People get too caught up on the dividend and the fact that it drops at almost exactly the rate of payout the day after the ex-dividend date, but that's because of people trying to game the system, and which I'm sure, if they're trying to game the system, it's because it works, at least some of the time. But I'm more interested in the fact that it's just popping off right now. And it is slightly part of my plan is to buy more after, really after the dividend is paid out, not even the ex-dividend date, but actually cash in hand kind of thing, and then decide if I want to add more, if looking at the shipping rates and seeing if this looks like a good long-term, because long-term they haven't really been profitable, but they haven't really been unprofitable. They've been hovering around that, like, I don't know exactly, like negative, like I've looked at it a while ago, like 30 cents a share, like positive 30 cents a share on a lot of earning quarters before COVID, before shipping rates went absolutely bananas. And I guess a lot of people are thinking we are kind of headed towards a much higher shipping rates due to different factors such as ships getting scrapped and new ships being commissioned, and China reopening and having more goods to ship around the world, not necessarily just to the United States. So this still is one of the top 10 biggest shipping companies in the world. It's, if I believe correct, like 7th or something. So this is a big player. But yeah, I just find it odd that it's going up that much. But if you look back at like its all-time high and all that stuff, it was like $88 all-time high, and you know it's 22.80 right now. It's down almost 70% from its all-time high. So it could get back up around there, maybe in the 40s. I don't see it getting back up to the 80s anytime soon, but as long as it keeps paying out, I'm pretty happy with it, and I will definitely add a bit more if it pays out even 70 cents a share. Last time it was like $2.95, so I'd be very content with 70-cent quarters from, especially paying $23 a share, and that seems pretty amazing if it can keep that up.